Hi, welcome to my second video on how to achieve a C grade at GCSE. Today we're going to be looking at the work of Romero Britto. If you remember from my last video, I said it was very important to select the right artists if you're struggling to achieve a C grade at GCSE. It's not worth picking an artist that's so technically brilliant you won't be able to master it, and when you try to reproduce it, it will show up any weaknesses in your skills. For me, Romero Britto is one of the most accessible artists for a GCSE student. Last time we looked at Thomas Fedro, and if you remember, Thomas Fedro had subtle blending in his work and bold black lines that separated the colour. Now this is very similar, but it's actually much more accessible, a lot easier to reproduce because there's no elements of blending on here. It's just flat colours, generally primary and secondary flat colours. If you can master being able to paint sharp, crisp lines, there's no reason that you can't reproduce this work. Now, this is the one that I did earlier. So I've done the 3 stages. I've got the drawing stage done. I've then gone over the pencil work in a waterproof pen, and then I've started to do the black lines and fill in any black areas. If you notice, that is exactly the same as the image underneath, and the reason for that is that I traced it. So what I've got this work on at the moment is a light box. So you place the work on there, put the light box on, place your paper, so cartridge paper on top, and hopefully you can still see that image showing through. If you're not fortunate enough to have access to a light box, then you can do the same by placing it on a window. So as long as it isn't an overcast day, it should be perfectly fine. Okay, back to my drawing. So, as I said, the 3 stages are there. First of all, I traced everywhere. I made sure that when I was tracing, it was light. My pencil work was light, sensitive, controlled. And then I worked over that work using a waterproof pen. Now, for any of the lines, I would want this as crisp as possible, so I used a ruler for any straight edges. Now, when using your ruler, flip it upside down, because if you've got it flat, what a tendency with the ink is, when you move the ruler, it gets dragged underneath and it builds up fluid on the ruler. So always flip your ruler upside down. So for the centre bit there, and that's how you go around. Now, a lot of it, there isn't any need to use a ruler, and I would go freehand. But for things like the straight lines, where it's patterns, they have to be consistent in terms of their angles. So I'm going to very quickly just draw over this. So I need to again look at the original. And I'm going to do all of this freehand. Remember, it's the same with painting and drawing. Rotate the work. Don't twist your wrist into awkward positions where you lose control. And what I'm doing, I'm not sketching, I'm trying to get nice flowing lines. There's a crispness to Romero Britto's work. There's a cartoon quality, looks like it's been printed perhaps. You need to aim to reproduce that. It won't work if you have scruffy edges. So I would now go over all of that and get it ready for the next stage, which is to do the black paint. Okay, so I've drawn over it now in the waterproof black pen. And one of the reasons that I go over it in a black pen is so that I've got sharp black edges before I even start painting. So it puts that little bit of I don't have to paint right up to the edge, I can just stop at the start of that black line. Remember, when you're using acrylic paint, that you need to get it like a cream consistency. So your brush should glide through. If it's too thick, you won't be able to get sharp, crisp edges. One of the other things too is make sure that you select a good acrylic paint. I started this the other day and I used one of the cheaper ones that we use. And it was really patchy and really stripy. What I generally use for my GCSE students is something like System 3. It's got a good level of thickness, and you don't have to keep putting coats on coats after coats. Right, make sure you select the right brush. For doing the edges, which I'm going to do first, I'd usually go with something like a 0, and if you remember, you can see the number on the side of the brush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carefully paint around all the black lines, only letting the very tip of my brush make contact with the paper. And remember, twist the work, not your wrist. So it's all about you staying in control of that brush. Now, if I've got students that I'm concerned might not be able to get a C grade or they're borderline, this is an artist that I'll always show them. I won't say they have to do this artist, but I would recommend this artist, and I'd recommend similar artists. Andy Warhol's a good one. Also, Lichtenstein. And then there's lots of more contemporary ones. Constantly rotating the work, looking back at the original. Now I'm going to do all the black areas first, let them dry, and then I'll start adding acrylic. But I don't think this time I'm going to bother using the masking fluid. I think really, unless you're blending, you should have the level of brush control. And if you don't have the level of brush control, then what you do is you practice. Once I've done the painting, I'll go over the work with a rubber and just get rid of any pencil areas that are still showing. Okay, almost got my wrist in the wet paint. Sometimes it's worth, if you feel like there's too much going on, there's too many wet areas, stop painting, just walk away from your work. Give it 5-10 minutes to dry. And let the very tip of my brush touch the paper. Now the amount of students that I see that use acrylic paint and they forget to mix it properly, and I've got to be honest, it drives me mad, because they'll have been taught it, repeatedly reminded to mix the paint up like cream. Now when it comes to preparing their palette, they rush into the painting, and the work they produce is substandard of what they're capable of. Remember, you always select 2 artists, so you need to pick an artist that would complement this work. It's no good doing someone like Romero Britto and then perhaps picking someone who does really super realistic drawings. I personally think you'd struggle to marry them together in your own idea successfully. So you notice here I'm placing my hand on top of the paper to raise the hand that I'm painting with. I need to raise it just to make sure that I don't catch any of the wet paint. We say to my students, it's a bit like when you see snooker players and they use that sort of apparatus so that they can get the cue above a ball. It's the same sort of theory, I suppose. And I think that's all the black lines done. So now I'm going to swap brushes because I want to get the block areas done a bit quicker. I'm going to use a flat brush, and this is a 6mm flat brush. I get a lot more paint onto my brush with this. So again, watch what I'm painting, go in different directions, like little kisses on a card, X's. I've got myself a nice black border, so I shouldn't go over the edge into areas that I don't want to. So remember, short little marks, keep going in direction. If you need to, which I probably will, then add a second coat. And that's it now. Make sure your edges are nice and sharp. Take your time. We still have to add patterns, but we can do those with a pen. What I would ask people to do, if you're doing Romero Britto, steer clear of using felts. I don't think felts really have any place in a GCSE. Maybe for ideas, but they're not really a proper medium. In fact, I need to add a little bit more retard to that. Isn't quite watery enough. And then I found that I just went over the edge because it's just a little bit too thick. So please, please, please make sure you get your consistency right, or it'll undermine all your hard work. So you can tidy up your black lines afterwards. Feel it when you're filling in the colour. Make sure that you're doing that cross-hatching marks. Add a big blob of paint on there. Then back rotate. Into white. In fact, that yellow was covered better than I thought it would. And that just goes to show, use the right acrylics. That's my first colour down. Then I'll go to... Now, I've mixed grey up here. The grey that I've used, the grey that I've made up, I haven't just used black and white on its own. If you do that, I think you get a flat colour. So what I mean by that is it just has no life in it. It's like a non-colour. So what I do is I generally mix white with blue and then start to add the black, and I feel that just gives the colour a little bit of warmth. How quick is this now to fill in? And it looks so effective. Now, although I said this is, the idea of this video is to enable students to get a C grade, for those students that are struggling to achieve a C grade, I've had students in the past use Romero Britto, and they've got B's and A's. So it's all about making sure you pick two artists that complement each other and allow you to show off your skills. I would say you would struggle to get an A if you had two artists exactly like Romero Britto, and there's no way you can show off your ability to blend or do anything, just paint sharp lines and flat colours. As I said, this is all about trying to get a C grade at this point. I forgot to do a bit of yellow at the top. Bit of a blob there. A bit of black. I'm going to make that colour a little bit darker. And that's how you paint in a Romero Britto style. At this point, it's worth noting that even the areas that are white, you must add a white acrylic paint to. Never leave a piece of paper or canvas unpainted. It just looks like the work's unfinished. I know at this point too that it's missing the fine patterns. Now, if I was going to add the patterns, I'd use a size 0 brush, but if they're just black, I'd probably use a quality waterproof pen like I did earlier. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it.